everybody, it's Lunera here and welcome to another Otterly DIY. This is the second Christmas video that I'm going to be doing, and today we are going to be making the Minion Starlight card. So to start with, we're going to be using a basic piece of A4 card. You can use any colour and any design that you want. This will be for the front of the card, but of course you can do it for the inside as well. I'm going to begin by drawing a tonbri onto the card. So as I'm drawing this, I'm going to leave spaces between each sort of line. So when we cut into the card, there's going to be pieces of card between each section, as you can see here. So like between the hand of the tonbri and between the lantern and everything, there is just a little space. And then with a scalpel, you're going to be cutting out the sections of this one. Now the reason we're doing it this way, it just gives it quite a nice cool effect when you have the coloured cards underneath. I'd say the best thing to do with this as well, just to ensure that you can really use a scalpel quite well with this, is to put a piece of wood or a chopping board or something underneath, something quite sturdy and something that you don't mind cutting into. And once you're all done, it should look something like this depending on what character you're creating. You can do this with Moogles, Chocobos, anything that you want. And now we're going to be adding some PVA glue. I've just used a spare piece of card just so I'm not sort of wasting anything else. And the easiest way I found to do this was if you put the coloured card or paper or whatever you want to do underneath, so you can trace as I'm doing here. It makes it much easier because you can cut just around where you need to, and then it fits a lot better. And then all you need to do is put some of the PVA glue around where it's going to be stuck down to. The best thing to do is, again, be quite generous with how much PVA glue that you use. Although we're going to have a piece of card behind it later on to help keep it in place, this keeps it in a much better place just in case. Now, especially with smaller pieces like this, when I know there's going to be other colours behind it, I just traced where I needed to cut a bit. But also, if you do find that you have some excess card going into a space where you want to put a different colour, you can just use a scalpel to get rid of it, even when it is stuck down. But just be mindful that it might move a little bit if you don't leave it to dry long enough on there. So you can either do it before or after that you've stuck it down. Like I said with the back part as well, as I have been here, you can be as messy as you like because we're going to be layering it up. So I tried to do the larger pieces towards the end, just so it's a lot easier, like I said, with layering and stuff. And this is the result. After that, I just cut out some of the smaller details to place on top of everything. So for example, the eyes and the lantern of the tonbri. Like I said earlier, we don't need to worry about the messier part of the card because we're going to be covering it. So doing what we did at the start as well is just folding the piece of card in half, and we're going to be sticking it onto the back here. This just covers it, makes it quite neat, and of course if you wanted to add anything to the card on that side as well, then you obviously can with a blank canvas. And I just added a small candy cane rather than putting a knife on the card. So yeah, the Dunbury has a candy cane for Christmas. And this is the end result. I love how sparkly and everything that it is. It was a lot of fun doing this craft. Now this part is completely optional, as is the rest of it, but I kind of regretted doing this afterwards. I don't think it looked that good. I kind of realised how much space I had, and it looks like the Tonbury has eaten some of the lettering, or just wants to have the space in front of it. Either way. And there we have it. Like I said, you can do this in so many different designs, like a Chocobo or a Moogle or characters from other series, however you want to do it. I think it would be fun to use this method in the future as well for things like Easter cards, birthday cards, so we will probably be doing this again sometime, so keep an eye out for that. And I'll try and do it with different genres this time. So thank you so much for watching. I'm so sorry that I say constantly. I realise that with editing this. Anyway, please like and subscribe. Please feel free to follow me on Instagram, and I'd love to follow you back and see your own creations. And have an amazing rest of your day. And yeah, bye!